everyone, welcome back to my channel. Now today we're going to do something a little different. I usually don't do reviews, but I decided to because why not? Like, I already watched these shows and I watch other reviewers, and I'm like, I have pretty good hot takes and opinions on the shows as well, so why not, so yeah, as you guys can see, that we will be reviewing today Married at First Sight. I feel like it's a really interesting concept. Now, would I be able to do it? Nah, to each his own, but it's entertaining. So I just want to kind of, briefly go over a few things from this episode. This episode was pretty much about Chloe and Michael's wedding. So, but what I am going to do is touch on a few of the couples, because we are, we're in episode 16, 17? I don't know. I can't remember. So you guys can see my opinion on some of the couples, and then we're going to go into Michael and Chloe's wedding. So starting off with Lauren and Orion. Lauren and Orion, Hot Mess Express. I don't even understand how that was a thing. Now I will say this. Initially I was for it because Orion seemed sweet and Lauren seemed very sweet, and I felt like, they are different, it seems like, as far as like background and culture. But I thought that maybe this could still work, because difference doesn't mean that it can't work. It just means that they're going to take work to learning and understanding each other. But yeah, I feel like Orion used that situation when they had the conversation on the balcony about his culture as a way to escape. And I don't really feel like he's meant for he doesn't know how to do confrontation or conflict resolution, not confrontation. Conflict resolution. And so his way of, winning the war is to escape. So he can say, well, I won because I was able to walk away, instead of actually working through it. And so, yeah, after that, I was just like, Orion, I wasn't a fan after that. Becca and Austin. Now, I'm, with this couple, I don't know for sure if I see it for them. Like Lauren and Orion, initially I did, but there are times where they seem pretty good and there are times when they're not. And to be honest, that's any relationship, but I just feel like Austin, he's very hesitant on how to approach certain things, and especially sex, because he is a Christian. From my understanding, that's what he is. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. And Becca is not. I think she's more spiritual, or maybe she's atheist. I don't know, but it seems like she doesn't believe in it. And so maybe Austin's approach is going to be different, because that's him regularly, whether he's in this situation where he's married or not. That's just the way he moves. And so I do feel like, anyway, when you're getting to know someone, the first thing you need to do is pay attention to their character. Try to have sex with them, especially in the first 2 or 3 months. I don't know if that's realistic. It's different for different people. But with my shift in mindset over the past few years, I don't feel like you have the rush to have sex with somebody, because typically when you don't, it doesn't blur the lines for you. You get to really see the person for who they are. And so, we'll see with Austin and Becca. I don't know. Emily and Brennan, Hot Mess Express as well. Brennan don't really like Emily. Emily, she's scary. She don't know how to actually talk about her feelings. She waits till she gets a third party in the room, and you should never feel like that with your partner. You should always feel safe. And not to say Emily hasn't done anything, because I haven't seen her do anything on camera, but not to say she hasn't done anything that makes him feel uncomfortable, but I haven't seen it. And if that's the case, Brennan, if you feel a certain way, you need to express what it is, because your actions are really shitty, okay? You really are coming across like a bad person. Even if you were trying to protect her, you're still coming off, from your actions, you're coming off like an a-hole. And so that's that on Emily and Brandon. Claire and Cameron, I feel like Claire need to leave that man alone and give him his space, because I feel like she's having mixed emotions only because she feels guilty about not wanting to work it out, because she knows Cameron's a good person. Now, not to say he's perfect. He has his ways, because he did kind of rub me the wrong way earlier on in the season, but I don't feel like he's the worst of the worst. Almost like with the Lauren and Orion situation. Like, Orion ran away from the situation over something that could have been more of an educational moment. He took it and ran with it so that he can win the war, because he didn't know how to do conflict resolution. So yeah, I do feel like with Claire and Cameron, I do feel like they shouldn't be together. I just feel like it's unhealthy for her to prolong this, because I feel like he deserves better. And she deserves better. She deserves what she wants, and I don't feel like Cameron is that. Then we get to Chloe and Michael, which we don't have much on them, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to jump to the wedding and kind of, sprinkle in the couples here and there. They did have them come and support them. So this is Michael's second bride. The first bride, she left the altar child. She was like, I can't marry no stranger. Girl, like, you signed up for it. So you started this whole process, went through the whole thing, even from sitting down with the experts and all of that. And finally, at the last, very, very last second, they probably told her, no, you got to go to the altar and say you don't want to do it. Because she probably didn't want to go to the altar at all. But they probably made her say, no, you are going to tell him to his face. You're not going to cower out. And so she had to go to the altar and say it. But, yeah. So the other couple support him, which I feel like is bad juju. They need to be working on their own situations, because they all are hot messes. Especially Emily and Brennan. And Lauren and Orion, I mean, I guess friends support friends, but it just was like, y'all don't need you don't need that bad juju at your wedding, Michael. I would have been like, nah. But yeah, so Chloe are talking to her friends or her bridesmaids, and they're in there having a conversation. Chloe divulges that she hasn't been raw and emotionally available or vulnerable before. She was used to looking for perfection and wants to make sure she's not projecting this on this situation. I'm reading notes, guys, if y'all wonder what I'm looking at. And so I applaud her for being that self-aware and understanding where she is currently in her life and what she notices about herself when it comes to dating, because perfection is not real. We all should know that perfection is not real. No one can be perfect, and perfection comes from the idea of control. You can't control another person and anything about them or their personality. So if you're looking for something specific, a person is not, everyone's not going to come with everything that you have. So if you created a whole list, you might as well throw that away. Now, not to say you can't write down some qualities, but if you think you're going to get every single quality of a person, that's not realistic. If people could do that, everyone would be doing that, writing down their qualities and thinking that they can get every piece or every little thing that they ask for. That's not realistic. You probably can get maybe like 85 to 90%, and the other 10% that person might not have. But I feel like people are looking for perfection when it comes to dating. It's not real. So just stop doing that. Her bridesmaids also said, I forgot the girl name. I don't know if her name was Brandy. Maybe that's the name I thought I saw. But she said, no one will be good enough for her, which goes back to the perfection thing. Then we get closer to the big reveal. Chloe is standing there. She looks pretty. I'm in her wedding dress and her makeup done and everything. And she starts to get nervous, which makes me nervous for Michael, because I'm like, Michael, look, don't traumatize my boy Michael now. Y'all, look, don't do this to my boy Michael again. So, yeah, Michael is talking to the groomsmen. He seems pretty ready. I feel like Michael seems like he is ready for the life. He's ready to be a husband. He's ready to have a family. And so he seems genuine. He seems like he has a genuine spirit. You never know a person really, but he just seems like he does. Y'all, I think Michael is fly. I think he's fine too. I think he is so fine. To me, he is. And maybe because he's eccentric, eclectic, whatever that word is that people use when you just, have a broad taste and style. I think he's a beautiful person. And, yeah, so to me, he looks good. So, hey, Michael, if it don't work out for the second time, third time's a charm. Okay, and the other grooms, Orion and Brennan, come in, share their little... whatever. Okay. You could tell Michael is nervous because he's talking a lot. Like, you could tell he's just talking to cover up his nervousness, but it's so obvious to me. He had a nice pink suit on. You guys see Chloe had on pink Converse, which was really cute. I wonder if that was something that the producers kind of said, hey, he's going to have this on, so we're these, I don't know, but it was cute. Her parents have been married for 40 years, and so that's a good thing. That's what she shares when she's talking to her mom before the big reveal. And so in that reveal, before that reveal, in that conversation, her mom was just giving her a little bit of advice. And, you know, I think there's pros and cons to having your parents in the household like married for that long, because the pro, I feel like, is having that example. It's good to have that example. But then the con is you trying to duplicate what your parents have, and that's not realistic. So I do feel like that's a pro and a con for that. But there's more pros to it than anything. I feel like the only con is just trying to duplicate your parents' relationship, and you guys, you're not the same as your parents. The person you're dating is not going to be the same as your parents. You're born in different generations, different upbringing, so it's never going to be the same. You just have to create your situation so that it can last, and because your situation is unique. Then we have the big reveal. So we see Chloe and Michael at the altar. The interest is there. They seem attracted to each other. And so after they say that their I do's, they go out to, you know, where they usually have the little setup where they sit down and briefly discuss, you know, little details about each other, just to let the person know a little bit about themselves. And Michael shares with Chloe that he has been in this situation before, just to be honest and open with her and let her know, and just to let her know that she isn't second choice, which I love that. I mean, you know, to be honest, it's not Michael's fault. It's not his fault. So I don't feel like it would be second choice because it's not his fault. And so she seems to have received it very well. They met with the other couples. Honey, I just felt a whole bunch of shade coming from Emily. I really did. Y'all let me know in the comments if that's what y'all felt, but I felt it. I felt a lot of shade coming from Emily. I don't know why. She just seemed like she wasn't here for it. Like, but they share, their tidbit of advice and how they feel about seeing them together. And so, it seems cool, the energy, even though I feel like it's bad juju to have them there because none of their situation is working, and one of them couples are already divorced. So yeah. And y'all notice Austin and Becca wasn't there either. I wonder what's going on with that. But anyways, they take their pics. The pictures are cute. Then we go to the reception. Lauren and Orion are talking, and Orion asks Lauren if she would want to have a conversation outside of there. Lauren declines because she says that there's nothing else that she needs from him and pertaining to the situation. She's already done her reflection on the situation, and now on the outside looking in, she can see why it needed to happen the way that it happened. I love that. That's a mature answer. And, the reflection is always different. When you're done with the situation and you can see it for what it is, you're like, yeah, what am I really tripping about? Because we all know that from having exes. So yeah, I like that response from Lauren, and they both kind of share their experience, express their point of view from their experience from the relationship. And Orion, like I said earlier, he just seems like he's not used to conflict resolution. So basically that's what he said to me when he said something about verbal abuse, but he was saying that's not what he said about Lauren. He was saying about Lauren, but that's just, something he has experienced. And I guess he doesn't know how to handle those situations. To me, you don't know how to handle conflict resolution as an adult. To me, that's what I received from it. And then Lauren says she just has relationship wounds, and that's something she has to work on. And it sounds like both of them are in therapy, which is a good thing. So, work on yourself. That's the best thing you can do. Hey. The brides meet with Chloe. They kind of try to give her a more positive outlook on the fact that Michael has done this before, because she's saying that she's wondering and questioning why didn't they pick her at first. And the girls are like, look, things happen for a reason, which is what I take from it. Things happen for a reason. If you're here, it's meant for you to be here, because that situation wouldn't have flopped like it did if you weren't meant to be here. So just take it from a positive perspective so that when you go in, you're not, and I'm glad they did that. They gave her a positive They gave her positive affirmations in regards to that situation and didn't allow her to go down a rabbit hole of wondering why they didn't choose her first. It doesn't matter. You're here now. This is your experience with Michael. And will you guys sink or swim? Who knows? We don't know what the reason is for you guys getting together, but we'll find out soon. The groom shared with Michael about creating his own experience. Yes, please create your own experience, Michael, because these two, I just ain't here for Orion and Brennan, especially Brennan. Especially Brennan. At least with Orion wasn't, I don't feel like he was disrespectful to Lauren, but with Brennan, he just seems very like shady. He seems very shady to me. He seems very shady. Claire reflects on her relationship with Cameron after seeing Chloe and Michael. She calls him, girl, stop it. I feel like, you know, if you're only moving off of temporary emotions, then you're never going to actually find that situation that you're not going to actually be able to have a relationship that works, because you're moving off of temporary emotions, and those emotions don't always last. You're going to have bad times. So you got to remember that when you're going into relationships, dealing with another human being, it's not going to always be perfect. And if the good times are the only things that are allowing you to stay with this person, you're in for a rude awakening. So please don't lead that man on. Please don't lead that man on, Chloe, because I really only feel like you're, you know, if only you just feel guilty about it. And that's the reason why you trying to stick around. And that's not fair to him. Give him his space at least. Even if he does decide to be your friend, at least give him his space so that he can heal from whatever he's going through. And then you guys, maybe if it pans out to happen that way, then, you know, come back together. But yeah, giving that man his space. Michael and Chloe speak to each other's family, and it seems as though they both are a good match in pertaining to like kids, because Michael doesn't really care whether it's natural born or foster and adoption. So I love that. That's perfect. I mean, her family was like, oh God, they melted in Michael's arms. Oh, you see the sister, like she was about to like melt away in his arms because she was so happy that he was for the adoption and fostering. And so that's a beautiful thing. You know, I'm all for it. Like, you know, because those are important conversations to have, you know, when you are starting a relationship, because you don't know a person's perspective on why they might not want to have kids. You don't know a person's, you know, and then also when it comes to religion, all those things, those are foundational conversations, I feel like, because you build on those things based on, you know, your values. So I feel like, yeah, it could work, but that depends on Chloe, because this next snippet that we see from next episode, she kind of made me nervous. I'm like, girl, come on, man. Like, don't sabotage it because of your, you know, idea of what something should look like, because I feel like that's what might be their downfall. Because one thing I can say, Michael looks like he has a lot of patience. So we'll see, you know, how that works out. Emily and Brennan talk. Nothing there. I just feel like they both are kids. Brennan, he be trying to like control things, and he doesn't know how to express what he's thinking in a mature way. And Emily is just, I don't know about Emily. Emily seems very childish. Both of them seem childish, but you know, Emily, she never had a boyfriend. So it just all makes sense. It all makes sense. All of it makes sense. And Brennan, he just seems so uncomfortable to be there. But I think, like I said before, they're going through the process just to say they're going through the process. They don't really want to be there. And it's written all over their face. But anyway, guys, tell me what y'all thought about this review. I had fun doing this. So we'll see what other shows I might do. But for now, leave your comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, and share. Because we want to see, you know, I want to see what you guys think, and it'll allow me to see if I'm gonna continue to do this, or I might just do it for fun anyways. I don't know if I'm going to do it on another YouTube channel or continue to drop them on here, but for now, just so you guys can see what I'm up to, I'm going to open them up on this channel, And I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you soon. Bye.